Root, a tale. The prophetical literature of what they call the Old Testament was a thing in itself, not giving rise to any latter literary form, except the degree that the allegory can be said to have sprung from it. The methods of the Jewish historians were also in large measure peculiar to themselves, but in the short tales that appear in Tanakh and in the Apocrypha, one meets examples of the most universal and ultimately the most popular type of all literature, prose fiction, designed at long last to develop into the modern novel. I wonder how this guy's going to talk about the New Testament if this stuff that's closer to being historical is listed as fiction. The Book of Ruth is already mentioned. It was written in the 4th century BCE as a protest against the harsh policy of Nehemiah and Ezra in forbidding racial intermarriage. It wasn't racial intermarriage. They were okay with racial intermarriage. They were talking nationality intermarriage. By skillfully taking advantage of an old legend of a Moabite strain in King Dawood and accounting for it by the marriage of Dawood's ancestor Boaz to Ruth, a woman of Moab, the author was able to reinforce his general thesis by the appeal to the tradition. And you might also say it's marriage between ethnic groups, right? Because the Beni Yisrael were as one ethnic group. Surely no other work of protest was ever written in so gentle or appealing a manner. In fact, it was done too beautifully for its own purpose, and men remembered its pastoral simplicity and its charm in individual characterization while they forgot its message of tolerance. Root, a tale. I don't know if any external historicity to this, but that doesn't, as what he's contrary to what he's saying, that doesn't mean anywhere near as much as people might think. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Beit Lechem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his 2 sons, and the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi. I'm not sure. I don't see the Aramea as we're saying, so and the name of his 2 sons, Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathim of Beit Lechem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there, and Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her 2 sons, and they took them wives of the women of Moab, and the name of the one was Orpah, and the name of the other Ruth, and they dwelt there about 10 years, and Mahlon and Chilion died also because of them, and the women were left of her 2 sons and her husband. Sometimes O is ah, sometimes it's w, sometimes it's ah, sometimes it's even ah. So, taking my best guess without to. Then she arose with her daughters-in-law, that she might return from the country of Moab, for she hath heard in the country of Moab how that God is noun and verb visited his people in giving them bread. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her 2 daughters-in-law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. And Naomi said unto her 2 daughters-in-law, Go, return, each to her mother's house. And God is noun and verb deal kindly with you, as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. God is noun and verb grant you that ye may find rest, each of you in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with thee unto thy people. And Naomi said, Turn again, my daughters, why will ye go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb that they may be your husbands? Turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have a husband. If I should say, I have hope, if I should have a husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes that the hand of God as noun and verb is gone out against me. And they lifted up their voice and wept again, and Arpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth cleaved unto her. And she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her supposed gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest, I will die, and there will I be buried. God is noun and verb, do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. When she saw that she was steadfastly minded to go with her, then she left, speaking unto her. So they went until they came to Beit Lechem. And it came to pass, when they were come to Beit Lechem, that all the city was moved about them. And they said, Is this Naomi? Now Beit Lechem is house of bread, house of the virgin. So, yeah. Which could mean it's allegorical for what was not the September, but like the August sign at that time. It's now, the October sun sign, but, was this, the age of Aries. And she said unto them, Call me not Naomi, call me Mara, for the Almighty hath dealt very bitterly with me. Shadi is cast her out of the goat demon, as well as Almighty. I went out full, and God is noun and verb hath brought me home again empty. Why then call ye me Naomi? Seeking God as noun and verb hath testified against me, and the Almighty hath afflicted me. So Naomi returned, and Ruth the Moabim, her daughter-in-law, with her, which returned out of the country of Moab, and they came to Beit Lechem in the beginning of the barley harvest. Oh, I said plural, didn't I? Moabah, and Naomi had a kinsman of her husband's, a mighty man of wealth of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz, or Boaz, probably Boaz. And Ruth the Moabitess said unto Naomi, Let me go now to the field and glean